Okay. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Horizon Weekly Insider number 144. Today is Monday, July 18th, 2022, and we are live on Discord and YouTube. Thank you for joining us, and please be aware that this call is being recorded and will also be available for you to check out later on the Horizon podcasts. Also, please remember to ask your questions for the team on Menti via the link in chat. And today, let's go ahead and kick it off with engineering. Welcome, Alberto.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. As usual, let's start with Zendo. So, for what regards the changes to allow the new kind of sidechains that don't need the season functionality, we closed all the activities related to the update of the fork manager class. And we also almost completed the development of the next changes that are concerning the block and the mempool validations. Currently, we are working on the RPC commands and the address indexing, and also on the unit and Python tests in parallel, after which we will go through the typical code review activities. Speaking about this new kind of sidechain, as anticipated during the last Weekly Insider, we have also been working on a new Zen IP document that describes them. And obviously, we are going to make it public soon once all the review iteration is going to be finished. And so we will keep you posted about it. Then, on a different topic, last week we have also been investigating with the help of the infrastructure team a corner case that was blocking the Zen CAI on Travis. A fix was introduced with a dedicated pull request, which has already been subject to the code review, and that was successful, so PR was merged. Lastly, on Zendo, we are also supporting the documentation activities like sidechain fees from namechain perspective, and here, for example, backward transfer request and forward transfer fees, P2P network protocol, and coins view cache management. All this documentation material will obviously be published on our documentation portal once it's ready. Then, switching to SDK, and in particular for what regards Blaze, last week we achieved the completion of many tasks in preparation for the next Blaze version 050, and in particular we completed the improvements on verification keys generation, I mean with multiple seeds, and we completed the design of the wallet rescan logic, and we almost completed the implementation of the fork manager that was also tested. And apart from this, we're also reviewing the part that is concerning certificate validation of backward transfers limit. So, I mean, we introduced the backward transfer limit in the sidechain in order also, I mean, with the original design model where, let me say, the model is preventing someone to fill the limit, for example, in the first block. So, I mean, we took care of all these aspects, and currently the implementation is done, and the reviewing part is ongoing. So this was the update for what regards Blaze, and on the other hand, for what regards the EVM sidechain, we completed the support for the Ethereum receipts, and we also integrated the Ethereum Merkle tree and the Patricia tree, I mean. The gas fee management and EIP 1559 research was completed and shared. And we ran an internal demonstration last week showcasing the results obtaining with the advantages of the sidechain EVM milestone advancement, sorry, of the sidechain EVM milestone 1. So great progress also on the EVM sidechain project. Finally, on the proving system side, last week, as part of the ZK EVM implementation strategy, we went on with the analysis on the Plonkish arithmetization and there. And moreover, we have also been involved in several practical tasks, like, for example, writing a recursive program in order to understand the missing features and to detail existing problems. I mean, and here we are speaking, for example, about risk zero. We have been conducting several engineering sessions to better understand the architecture, the design, and the code base, and benching other simple programs. So, I mean, here, good progress in terms of better understanding and testing all the features and understanding the performances and benching. That is, let me say, quite an important step that is necessary for the next phases of the development. So, these were the main points for today. Now back to you. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Alberto. Now I'd like to welcome Victor.
Hi, Erika, and good morning, everyone. Um, for this week, we have some, let's say, improvements on the EVM sidechain. As Alberto was saying, we implemented the receipts as well. So let's say that we are about to see again the content of the demo we did internally. So by connecting MetaMask to this sidechain node directly and seeing that uh, let's say the whole customer journey. So everything works exactly like it does in Ethereum, with not only transaction between accounts, but also by interacting with whatever contracts that was deployed on the sidechain. Just to for who have lost previous Weekly Insider, we recently did a demo in which we have successfully deployed a contract using the Remix IDE that is available for all EVM compatible blockchains using MetaMask as let's say the tool that allowed connecting to the sidechain node and successfully interacted also with the contract. What we were missing was just an information that was not being shown directly in the IDE. That was the contract address that we were only able to find looking inside the block. And now that the receipts are available, can be fetched directly from there. So a huge improvement seen from the user experience standpoint. And we are now able to make the complete customer journey without accessing directly the blockchain. And another thing that we made, we provided some documentation for two actually they are already built, let's say pre-built smart contracts inside our sidechain that are the one for backward transfer and the other one for forging stake, so for staking in our um, sidechain, because they come out of the box with a sidechain node, so without the need of deploying directly solidity code in the sidechain after it is deployed. And to interact, we are building some Web3 pages in order to have this functionality available also for the users. And for it, we had to build some specification, also sharing the IB that, let's say, for contracts that are written in Java and not in Solidity is something that let's say, can be good that we have already been able to provide, because it means that it's completely compatible with contracts that are built in Solidity. That's all from me. I leave it to Angie.
Thank you so much, Victor, and happy Monday, everyone. So, token mint updates. I would say the obvious. We're live on mainnet, and this is such a big and amazing, very exciting accomplishment for the whole team, and each one of the team members that have participated on having token mint live on mainnet. So, still very happy and glad and excited for this accomplishment and milestone. But then some very exciting activities also upcoming, and just kind of like a short recap of everything that was done last week. Of course, we released new versions of Sphere, both in mainnet and testnet, to support token mint there, Cobalt version as well. And then we also continue the efforts for the NFT implementations as well. So the testnet release will be upcoming as well in the near future. So really exciting on really exciting times for what concerns token mint. And we've also started just sharing internally business requirements for ZK token mint that will come also in the future. So a lot of different activities and moving pieces, but really glad. I don't want to go too deep into this because I'm sure Rob and Lucy will have more comments about token mint on mainnet and what this means for us. So congratulations to the team. And yeah, just stay tuned for more updates and upcoming activities. Back to you, Erica. Thank you.
Amazing. How excited. Awesome. Let's now welcome Lucy for the marketing updates.
Hello, everyone. As Angie has just mentioned, last week we released the token mint to mainnet. So big congrats to our product engineering team and the community for this milestone. You know, this is really just the beginning. Angie also mentioned ZK token mint, something that we are working on. If anybody wants to have a sneak peek of what that is about, take a look at the presentation Rob gave during consensus. You can find it on our new YouTube channel. There's actually a demo of what ZK token will, will be about, and Rob talked about that briefly as well. So, for our token mint right now, we already have some really cool tokens launched on the platform. I now am a proud owner of some of them. Now the token mint platform is on mainnet. It does require a fee to register and mint a new token, but currently we have a community task on HDE that offers a fee reimbursement and a small reward for you to launch a new token and provide detailed feedback. So please check out the HDE task for the full requirements. The task is not very hard, and it is a good opportunity to launch your own real token on token mainnet for free. So there is a limited amount of spots available for submissions. So if you're interested, I encourage you to act quickly. Also, special shout out to Erica, aka Crypto Cryptid on Twitch. Erica live streamed her token launch last week and demonstrated how to create and mint a token on Token Mint. I think she airdropped her new token to all the live audience. So if you missed her stream, and you can go to her Twitter and then ask for some of her token. Maybe she will send you some. She's usually really nice. Okay, so just do that. You may get lucky. And then also our Q2 report was published as well. It's just really amazing to see how much the team accomplished in the last 3 months. From token mint testnet to mainnet, community growth and engagement increases, and all the events we participated in, media responses that we received, they are really all very great. And it's particularly awesome to see our project thriving even in a tough market condition. So there was a lot of work behind the scenes, and we are not slowing down. And we have just started. We have a lot more to deliver in Q3. Lastly, but not the least, our Senior VP of Product and Engineering, Rosario, was a guest at the Grit Daily podcast. This is a podcast often speaks to guests about their behind-the-scenes stories as startups. Rosario shared her stories and talked about token mint and explained how our tech is contributing to the Web3 movement. She was also interviewed by Women in Blockchains some weeks ago, I believe. We have just recently received the recording of the interview, and we shared it on social media. So in the interview, she talked about ZK audit and the importance of a decentralized proof of reserve system. So please take a listen if you missed it. That's it from me. Back to you, Erica.
Very exciting. And yes, I did airdrop some of my sugar token to people that attended my stream. Feel free to check the link out above if you're interested in learning how to create your own token on TokenMint. Now we'll be welcoming Rob for leadership updates and Q&A session. And I just want to remind everybody to vote for your favorite questions on Menti.
Hello, everyone. Lucy, I completely missed who you said was nice sometimes, but anyway, we'll just leave it at that. I won't make any comments. Okay, so on my end, guys, we have a bunch going on. Like Lucy said, we are not slowing down at all. And right now we're in that really fun moment of our project's history where we're just delivering. We're delivering a lot, and it's just going to more cool things are coming is the bottom line. So while we're in this delivery mode, and we always talk to you guys every week about specifically what we're delivering. You know, TokenMint just went live last week on mainnet. Huge deal for us. Really excited for that because it's the first working sidechain in production using Zendu. It's a really big deal. So now you can mint fungible tokens in Horizen and soon NFTs. The next big thing, EVM. Yes, we like to repeat to you guys every week the big things that we're working on, so you'll know what the big milestones are for the project. The EVM work, just to confirm everything you've heard here, is actually a little bit ahead of schedule, and I can say quite proudly that from the moment we started doing design work to integrating Ethereum EVM into a Horizen sidechain to the moment of getting a demo, and hope by the end of this month, we'll mark 3 months on this particular project. So 3 months from design of a sophisticated integration into a Snark-enabled interoperability protocol as a Horizen sidechain, and now we will be getting Ethereum-compatible smart contracting. So again, in testnet, 3 months from design to testnet is a really big win for us as a team, as a community, and it just shows you the caliber and capacity of the team to be able to do things, in I think at very aggressive timelines. So anyway, more to come. That'll be a major milestone for us once we actually get the system on public testnet, and we'll have specific dates for you guys, but it'll be soon. And then we'll roll from there. But while these things are ongoing, we're also using this as an opportunity to think deeply about our core technical strategy. In particular, we had a very interesting main chain strategy conversation last week, where now we're circling back, and the reality is we are built on a Bitcoin-like blockchain, heritage through Zcash into Horizen. We've made some very important modifications at the consensus level to our main chain, integrating Zendu for the interoperability. But now that we're at the point where we're in delivery mode for a lot of really important sidechains, and we're going to continue there. But let's revisit the overall system architecture, including, importantly, for the main chain. So is continuing down this Bitcoin-like through Zcash to Zencash to Horizen heritage main chain, is this the way to go? And if yes, we want to say double down on privacy. If yes, maybe we want to be aggressive about upstream improvements for Bitcoin Zcash, so on and so forth. Or do we want to take a different strategic perspective where we say, okay, well, the Bitcoin technology space has evolved significantly over the last 5 years since we've been a project. So why don't we, just think from scratch and think through what is the pure vision for what we want as an ecosystem, and think through what type of technology would match that vision, and then have the complete, creative options or space of options open, where we can take any learnings, any new sophisticated blockchain technologies that have been deployed over the last 5 years and start there. So as an example, if we were to go down the new creative path on the mainchain side, we could consider things like, say like full recursion. So we can have a super succinct, minimalist database for a blockchain. We could have very, very fast and cryptographically secure finality on chain, things like that. Maybe we want to go down just be blazingly fast, like Solana or other projects that are on the market, where to them, speed for transactions was probably the most important dominating feature, right? So anyway, I'm just throwing out different options, and the way that I look at this and the way that we talked about it last week is we have kind of two strategic buckets. We keep doing more of what we're doing now, but we just be very deliberate about it. And this is crafted around a concise vision statement where we're going to go down this Bitcoin, Zcash through Zencash and Horizen path. So that means UTXO based chain. That means privacy, shielded pool like we have, and just be deliberate and be aggressive on maintaining that and expanding functionalities. Or we go down this other path and really disguise the limit in terms of innovation and picking and choosing what exists in the market, probably leveraging a lot of the work we've done on the sidechain side already so that we can just integrate some of those technologies. And really, we have two different paths. But importantly, and the second main point that I wanted to talk to you guys about today is this is not a decision that this team talking to you right now is qualified to make. I mean, technically qualified, of course, right? What I mean is this ecosystem really does require, now that we're delivering the key platform components to open up this ecosystem, it really does require open governance. This is not the kind of thing where a team makes unilateral decisions. And of course, we could say in theory, the community's always been steering the ship and the community can always choose what versions of software to run, but let's be explicit about it. We need to be better about community governance and community decision-making and open governance. And what we're going to do is we're going to craft this main chain strategy, these different options that are available into ZenEps, and we are going to present these to the community. And we have to get serious about the ZenEp process, which we are now on the back end. We have the infrastructure and we're actively working to just process these things and publish them and market them to you guys so they can actually be aware that they exist and be encouraged to opine and comment on them. We need to get better at it, and we need to have real community buy-in through a process of open, deliberate, and vigorous debate. Because any of these strategic paths, they're major potentially. One is a potential major protocol shift or pivot, and the other is just doing more of what we're doing now. So probably less controversial, but we need to be deliberate about choosing that path if that is the right path for the community. And if we do, then really doubling, tripling down on it so that we can get aggressive about deliveries and following upstream improvements. Okay, final thing I'm going to mention, maybe prelude to the final thing, is the EVM ecosystem. So yes, we're delivering this really cool piece of technology, and Ethereum virtual machine integrated it as a Horizen sidechain. But just delivering the technology is not good enough. We don't want to deliver tech and then no one uses it. So we're simultaneously now going through a big effort as a team, and also certain community members are helping out in a big way of bringing in ecosystem partners so that on day one when we launch, we have basics of an EVM ecosystem. And then what I want is a roadmap so that we can very quickly mature that ecosystem. So anyway, we're working with a bunch of partners and people that are interested in Horizen, other people that have already built in other EVMs. And we're trying to get as much activity and attention to our EVM as possible so that when we launch on day one, it's has a modicum of success already because it has the fundamentals already there. So we've talked in other weekly insiders about what those fundamentals might be, and we would love to, we talk about this stuff all the time in Discord, but you can imagine things like swapping, the ability to swap digital or issue digital assets, fungible, non-fungible, to be able to swap them, to be able to do borrowing, lending, to do bridging into other EVMs like Ethereum. There's a lot of stuff there, maybe an NFT marketplace. There's a lot to make sure that this EVM ecosystem is successful. And look, it's not going to be the most successful EVM in the world on day one. Clearly not, right? But importantly, we want to make sure the basics are there and we have a clear roadmap so that we can aggressively pursue it and get an increasingly competitive EVM. So anyway, these are all the things that we're ongoing. Now, finally, the last thing that I'll mention, ZenCon 0, reiterate this. Guys, if you're listening to this, you clearly care about this project. It's clearly interesting to you. Maybe you have some vested interest in some way at seeing it successful. Come to ZenCon if you can. Now, I know it's a lift. We're in a bear market, and it's taking place in Italy, and not everyone listening to this probably lives in Italy. But that said, this is one of our office locations here for Horizen Labs, and we are welcoming the community here to actually come attend this really cool event where you'll learn a lot more about what we're doing, meet the team, deep dive on strategy, product, technology, and so forth. It'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, I'll stop here and we can open it up to Q&A with the last few minutes we have remaining.
Very exciting stuff, Rob. So we have our top 3 questions for today, and the first one is, what is the team building now that Token Mint is out?
Oh man, okay. So we have one in particular, we have one game that we're working with a partner to launch on Token Mint. And that's kind of the one focal point for Token Mint. But really what this team is doing, I mean, we're a protocol team more than anything. So, all the other laundry list of things that we're doing that I mentioned already, we're working on. So we're more protocol and getting infrastructure out there to market, and we're going to be working with partners. On Token Mint in particular, we're going to start with gaming, just because we think that that's a nice use case for Token Mint. And as of right now, so say like with this alpha, it's all about maturing it so that we can get it to the beta phase, declare it to be stable, integrate it into exchanges, maybe have like a marketplace affiliated with it, also get the sidechain interoperability capability out there. There's still a lot of foundational stuff that we need to get done before we're really pushing this as a product for the world to build on. So we're going to start small, humble, and get partners to deploy some very fun games on there for starters.
Exciting stuff. And I love Andrews who wants to play video games. GIF, that is fantastic. So the next question is, how many female team members do you have now? Seems Horizen team is pretty well balanced in that regard, contrary to the belief that tech and blockchain are male-dominated fields.
It's actually a really good question. We actually are pretty balanced. I would still like to see more balance, but we have a bunch actually. I don't know in terms of like tallying. We could get that number for you guys, but we have, I would say a reasonable percentage now of the total team are female, and that's just awesome. Ranging everything from, clearly the people hosting this call, Erica, I think it is, between the marketing team through the engineering team, like to product teams, we actually have, and the business side, like all elements of the organization now have females working there, and that's something that I think is just really cool relative to the stereotype of this industry just being like super broy. So yes, girl power, great job, Angie. And yes, the women on this team are very awesome. I was not going to say Erica is awesome. I was not going to say that.
Okay, darn.
I was going to say robot, but anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, fair enough. So the next question is, has anyone on the team made their own tokens on Token Mint?
Heck yeah, we've got a bunch of team members doing that. You heard about one over here that did not share her token. Some sugar, yeah. I minted a token as well, Punk, and we've got a bunch of others from, I think Zane minted something, I can't remember the name, I think it's called Zane, the Zane token. And we have others. We have a bunch of them already. So we definitely want to get them out there and have some fun with them.
Yes, and I do believe we have a couple other team members that have their own tokens as well, and rather a few ambassadors that have their own token, including Love Token by Xavier, one of our wonderful, wonderful ambassadors. But again, if you are interested in creating your own token, check out the HDE task that we have linked in chat as well, which will reimburse you for some of the fees for creating your own. And that is it for our weekly insider today, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We'll see you again next Monday for the latest Horizen updates. Have an excellent week, everyone.